actually even like the beach better at night. I definitely want to go to that place where it's always nighttime, and see how long I would go until I wanted to see the sun again. I feel like it would be the whole season. There is an example of the kind of traffic madness that goes on in California. This is an open trench, and look at all these cones and look at all this bullshit. These people, again, what the fuck are you on? Yeah. Ooh, wow, the lighting is really bad. Well, we are done from the. We are done for the evening. This is not gonna work. Hold on. There we go. Well, I'm trying to get good lighting. Well, we are done for the evening. Clementine and I took a walk on the beach. It was very eventful. It was nice. The lighting is not good. But I just wanted to say that Long Beach is impossible for me to figure out how to get around here. It is so confusing. I keep saying the lighting. Anyway, Long Beach is really confusing. The GPS, Google Maps, is ass. It sucks so bad. It is so horrendous. You're better off just winging it. It is really, really crappy. And this is just a confusing place. I got Orange County really fast. I usually figure out places very quickly. Every place I've lived, I've figured out how to get around really quickly. I cannot figure Long Beach out. It is really weird. And I don't like roundabouts. And there's a ton of roundabouts here. So that is it for the evening. And we'll see you tomorrow. Hello friends, good morning. As you can see, today there is no cloud coverage whatsoever. It is very sunny outside, and that is terrifying because, like I mentioned before, the libraries do not open until noon and it gets hot and there's no place even to find shade really. So we are gonna have to figure that out. And there's Boo enjoying her little fan. In the car, in the Mercedes, it was much smaller and much more compact, and so the air was not as good, and Clementine was always getting uncomfortable. I always had to keep a window open, the sunroof cracked, or the door open, and luckily, because this car is so big and spacious and there's not really a ton of stuff in it, the air circulates well enough that I can usually, even on a warmer day, have the doors closed. And she is not like suffocating. She's not panting. She's not hot. She looks pretty comfortable. She definitely gets irritated when we have to move. And we have to move like like at least 4 times to get to the library this morning. 1, 2, 3. 3 stops to the library. But that is the life. I tried to straighten my hair and it did not even straighten. That's the update on my hair. The update on the weather, it's sunny. The update on my hair, it's puffy. And we have to go to a different library today because it's sunny and the libraries in this area don't open until 10, but there's other stuff that I can do in the area. So I guess that's cool. And I'll see you when we do it. So today the air is actually cooler and more crisp without the clouds. There's less humidity. And the breeze is more crisp. It's very interesting. I like the weather. The most interesting part of the day for me is the weather. Well, Clem and I have made it to a beautiful town called Artesia, California. It's really beautiful. There are a lot of really pretty suburbs around this area. Cerritos is really pretty. Artesia is really beautiful. And we were able to stop at a Stizzy outlet, which is so much fun. The deals are incredible. And a grocery outlet. We went outlet shopping on our way here, and the weather is pretty beautiful. It's 75, but it's not as stuffy. Like I said, there are really beautiful cities in this area. The beach cities are not the prettiest ones, oddly enough. If you get higher up, like Malibu, and then going forward, they are really fancier. Like I said, they don't have Planet Fitness and stuff like that. But the ones that are lower, like LA towards San Diego area, are kind of run down. but the weather is beautiful. And so it's really interesting. Maybe I'll get some shots of the beautiful scenery. There are some stunning trees. I was driving, so I couldn't get them. The biggest trees you will ever see that like go across the whole street. Like imagine the trunk is on one side of the street and then the rest of the tree is just crossing the entire street, like almost like a bridge. So cool. If I am at a stoplight and I can safely video them, I will try to do that later. But until then, let's see what we can find here. Here, there are literally, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just said that, but the same trees right here in this park. Look at how big the freaking tree is. Is that the craziest thing? I love trees. And look at the roots on this tree. This type of tree, the roots grow above the ground. Isn't that so cool? So cool. So what do you guys think happened here? It's a bunch of feathers. Ooh, wait, feathers. Where's the bird? What happened to the bird? Okay, and here's the tree from far away. Look at how big the top is! Ah, ta-da! It's actually 2 trees, but look at that. It's so cool. So earlier in the video, I talked about how very difficult it was for me to navigate around Long Beach. For some reason, I just cannot get it. And I think part of the reason is because a lot of the street names are the same. Like they have the same street name over and over again. There is a street here called the Jimeno, and it is all over the place. Like by the beach, there's a version of it and it cuts off and then it picks back up somewhere else. And then there's small streets called that everywhere you go. And it's really interesting because the GPS calls it Eximino, which is very funny. And there's another street called Los Coyotes Diagonal, and the GPS calls it Los Coyotes Diagonal, which is a vibe. I love it. It just makes me laugh. And there are a ton of those. Los Coyotes, there's Los Coyotes Diagonal East, West, and then there's just Coyotes all over Long Beach, which, ¿qué pasó? Like, what is going on with that? And are they talking about the animal or are they talking about the other kind? That is the real question. But there's a Orizaba I see all the time. Junipero is a street I've seen over and over again. It makes it very confusing to navigate when the names are over and over again. I guess they were just like, we like this, so we're going to use it all over the city. It's interesting. And that is part of the reason. Another part of the reason is that the streets aren't straight. Like there's just so many situations where you have to make a sharp something turn to get to your location or go on a roundabout or do something roundabout. It's just tremendously frustrating. But I'm getting better. I learned how to get to one library so far. And I learned off of Google Maps on my own how to get there in a straight shot, like up one street and then up another street. So I don't know what's going on with Google Maps. And then they give you that little leaf where they talk about how that's better efficient on gas, and then they send you on a wild goose chase around town. Sus. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's it. Okay.